Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play on the internet. My name is John. I'm your host for the evening. Going around the horn we have.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Brother Lothar, the now third level cleric of Odin.
We normally have David playing Upior, the Wiskin magic user, but he is dead to us tonight.
And I'm Matt. Tonight I'm playing Wolfhard Cheek, the first level barbarian. Get off my lawn.
Icky. Hi, everybody. I'm Ted. I am playing the 6th level goblin, Mortis J. Gobliano. All goblin, all the time.
And I almost forgot, we are playing, of course, the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon. Continuing on, this is episode 68. Halls of Arden Vul is by Richard Barton. We are using the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. So where we picked up last time, they are on the Debouche level. They are not too far away from the actual Debouchement itself. Their intended goal was to actually go meet or set up a meeting with the Beastmen to the south. After calling out to them and not getting a response, they decided to do a little bit of exploring to the east, and they were met with some pretty nasty floating cephalopods, these kind of transparent jellyfish / octopus creatures just sort of dwelling within this very large chamber full of pillars where there were scattered bodies of adventurers and beastmen and things like that of that nature also there. And they had to beat a hasty retreat after those things latched onto their skulls and started electroshocking them. Upior picking up on the fact that the creatures tended to sort of lackadaisically pursue them, used his own speed to his advantage and kind of slipped past them back to the east in order to investigate what might be there to the east. And he found a bone scroll case in a pile of trash, and using the invisibility imparted to him by one of those rings, he was able to remain hidden from these cephalopods. However, Upior is now going to be in the NPC cloud because David is not with us, so we're just going to forget that David is over there, period. Yeah, Ted.
If David is just lost to the... If David is lost to the ether, does that mean Mort is not blind with the ring?
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to be blind yet.
Yay,
We could keep him blind for the whole episode. That'd be kind of fun.
Hey,
So
it happened to me like 2 seconds ago. You should just do that.
So it's the 6th of Gelenius. It's about 9:10 p.m., so that time is actually a little bit of a factor because you're going to start to get tired pretty quickly here, although you're not too far away from your safe haven. So we have Lothar, Mort, and Wolfhard. Gangrene is also with you as well.
And Trefko.
And Trev. No, did Trefko come? Yeah, and Trefko's with you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you're all been a little bit, well, at least I can't remember exactly who. Maybe we should do a hit point rundown real quick. Who got hurt?
I got hurt a lot, John.
Okay.
I am at 8 of 17.
Okay. Whoa. All right.
And that's after healing myself.
Yeah. Mort,
Gangrene's at 6 left out of 16.
Okay.
He is a very unhappy goblin.
Uh-huh.
And Mort only lost 4.
Okay. Out of what?
Right, 5.
5 out of what?
What's his total?
23.
Yeah.
Okay.
20. Oh, nice. Wolfhard is doing just fine. He's got 2 hit points out of 5.
Nice. So ratio-wise, you're arguing with it. Okay. All right, so I believe Wolfhard's actually got the lantern. Upior had a torch lit as well, but of course that's no longer a thing. So the lantern is lit, still got a whole bunch of time left on it. And you guys have retreated back away from that. So there are 2 chambers. One is the larger chamber with pillars that had the cephalopods, and then further back, the way that you came, there was a smaller chamber that had a ton of trash in it, and then you moved out of that room, and now you are in the barricade room that heads directly back to the debouche. So what do you want to do?
I'm sorry, John, I need to interrupt. Matt, Ted, and John, and I, and Matt, we didn't coordinate our outfits yet. We all look like we're here for Sprocket.
Yes.
Now the time on Sprockets when we dance.
The listeners out there, yes, you're all wearing the typical gamer black t-shirt.
Actually, I've got a sweater on, but that's...
It is the uniform of our people.
We look like we're going to art class. This is great.
Okay, what do you do?
Okay.
Matt,
I think we were going to.
Yeah.
I think we were going to retreat. Get the hell out of there. Because those things are going to kill us if we go back in right now and prepared. But you see, now we kind of know these things. We know how they work. We can come back with a plan, but the key element there is coming back with the plan. You can't come back with a plan unless you get the hell out of there.
Right.
So that's what we're going to go back do. We're going to go back to the debouche.
Okay.
I think we're going to rest up a little bit, heal a little bit, strategize a little bit, and then decide what we're going to do to come back.
Okay. What are you moving
it'd
at?
be great
90?
to talk to the beast. Yeah, it would be great to talk to the Beastman as soon as possible, but right now we look like we're barely alive, and that's probably even not the strongest negotiation foot to stand
I was
on.
thinking too, like we probably need to take at least a day off, like one whole day, because if we do that, Elizabeth can get how many healing spells can she get, Matt?
Well, she has one right now, right?
Okay.
So she has one that's unspent. Avaricios has one that's unspent, so they can both use those. And then we get the healing, the hit point that we get from resting overnight. Now we'll be fine.
Well, I was actually thinking though we probably need to take a day tomorrow to just memorize as many healing spells as possible, because I know I'm down 9. That's at least 2 healing spells, and Mort and Gangrene are down a lot. Trefco got hit. Like, I mean, everybody probably needs healing. So my question, I guess, is how many healing spells can Avaricios actually have if that's all he memorizes?
Oh, well, let's check it up.
Well, what I was going to say is, I mean, not to, poor Gangrene doesn't, not that he doesn't deserve healing, but he doesn't have to come with us on the next run, right?
That's fine.
We can leave him behind. He doesn't need healing spells. We can tuck him in with some mint tea and a Band-Aid and tell him he did a good job. And Mort's, would like to be healed, but it's more or less fine. I would rather not take the day off. I'm fine with taking the night off, hit a couple of spells, and then go see the Beastman in the morning. But I'd rather not take a day off.
Why?
Yeah. Also, remember, because in the morning we have. They'll be able to memorize and cast those spells right off at the first, right? So we can get the spells tonight, the spells in the morning. But the big reason why, Mike, is the clock's ticking, man. The black snot nose guys.
There's always a clock.
There's always a clock.
I don't know. I think for once in our adventuring career, we're actually not like sitting here staring at the clock, like going, "Oh my God, we're about to lose 60,000 gold." Like it feels to me like, I mean, the king was like, "It'd be great if you could go, meet with the Beastmen. It'd be great if you could go take care of the Snot clan, the Black Snot clan." But I don't think he's expecting us to do it tomorrow.
I don't think he is. But if we don't deal with the Beastmen on our flank, then we're weak when we go deal with the Black Snots, right? And if we don't deal with the Black Snots,
again, I'm just saying, it's like, why rush in when we can just spend a day and actually heal up and then go? Like,
well,
I don't understand.
What does it take to go just say hi to the Beastmen? We don't need to come,
That's what we tried to do last time.
We're not going to fight.
That's what we tried to do last time, and we almost died from Electro Squid. Like,
well, that's because we went off plan.
Well, let's go
Yeah.
with this. You are at least going to go retreat and spend the night tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you go back. It's going to take 2 turns to get back to the debouche level. Are you going to rest here at the debouche? You're going to go all the way back down to Goblin Town.
I think we should.
I would go ahead, Ted.
Well, I say we stay on this level.
Okay.
And I was going to say the same thing, because we want to kind of keep an eye on like who's coming down, if anybody does yet. I mean, the dragon just yesterday destroyed the top and opened it back up. So I'd be surprised if anybody was like, storming the gates to get back down, but it would be nice to be here in case somebody did. Right.
Okay.
So that room that we were talking about possibly turning into your tavern, if it's not already filled with fecundity, maybe we could just camp there.
So you go back, you go past the magic mouths, the warring magic mouths, and into the main debouche itself, full of goblins teeming around. They're all sort of, the word on the air is about the destruction of the upper pyramid. And they have wrapped Lyda's bodily rather unceremoniously, rather disrespectfully, you kind of feel when you look at it. But they have placed her in front of the statue of Thoth near that offering box. And,
well, John, I mean, Avaricious is there. He wouldn't let it be like too rough. He'd oversee this. That's the main reason why he's sticking around, right?
Okay. And they see that you guys are wounded and you come back. They look leerily at Trefko. Did Trefko actually get hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
He did. He didn't lose a lot. He just took 1 HP damage.
Okay.
He didn't. It wasn't
So
bad.
he looks fine. Gangrene, though, is like pretty messed up. He's like, there's a little bit of the wet work on me there, Bolt. Oh, he's just
Don't worry, my faithful Gangrene. We shall care for you as if you are our own son.
I'll be all right, boss. And he kind of like hawks up a lug. But
Every time he touches something metal, he gets shocked.
as you guys start to relax and sort of unload your gear and everything, he says, it's real strange, boss. I've seen those creatures before. They usually haunt the chasm itself, floating up and down, as it were. We've seen our patrols have seen them. I'll tell you this, boss. If they were floating around that pillar room there, they either got trapped there or you're really near the chasm.
Well, let's look at the map. Gangrene.
That is super interesting, Gangrene.
Yeah, that could connect.
Yeah, it absolutely could.
They can't get
Gangrene?
through doors.
You're
So
worth 1,000 goblins, sir. That is very interesting. Okay.
they can't rightfully get through doors as far as I can tell. It probably means that there's some sort of open passageway that leads all the way out to the chasm.
Which means that David picked the wrong corridor to run down. Or the right
or
one.
he didn't, because that door, yeah. Who knows?
Interesting. All right.
All right.
So
I'm
curious.
You're going to sleep here tonight. So you want to waste your 2 healing spells? Not waste, but cast them.
Is that foreshadowing, John?
You're all going to die anyway.
I'm just trying to move it along here. So are you going to cast those 2 spells?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll those dice.
Who are you casting
so
on?
this will go towards Brother Lothar. 1d6 plus 1. Here we go. We're rolling real high. That's 4 points to you, Brother Lothar. That's Lisbeth's.
Sweet.
And how many is Mort down?
Mort lost 5 out of 23. So he would take a spell, but doesn't need it if we want to get Lothar a little more.
Okay, before we go to bed,
I'm still down at 5. So
you're down 5 now?
Mhm.
Okay, we'll go back to Mort, and in the morning you guys can each have another one. So this is for Mort. Oh, 2 hit points for you, Mort.
Okay, cool.
All righty then.
Then you bed down.
Wolford. Yeah, Wolford
and-
looks at you guys disdainfully that you need this.
Fine. Assuming you don't want to do anything momentous before you bed down, you do so. And when you wake up in the morning, safe and sound, you all gain 1 extra hit point from the good night's rest. And then I need to know spells from Lothar and... Well, I guess since you're in a safe haven, you had the chance now to sort of pick your guys again, new if you like.
I'm going to keep rolling with Lothar. I will keep the same spells, John. Light and Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. You going to cast Cure Light right now?
No, I want to save that for an emergency.
Okay.
Yeah, Lisbeth can give you.
If we are taking the day, I will memorize 2 Cure Light Wounds, and I will use them both on whoever needs them. You guys are pound wise, penny foolish, or something like penny wise, pound foolish. It's like
exactly the best way to go to a dungeon.
This is a terrible idea.
No, we're doing great. So Lisbeth can, she will prepare Cure Light Wounds twice today, and so she can cast. She can give 2 out, so she can give 1 more to each of you guys.
I'm only down 2 hit points at this point, but
do you want to just? Well, so she'll save 1. She'll cast 1 on you, Lothar, and then we'll save the other one.
Okay.
Wilford doesn't want that stuff anyway.
Why don't you roll that guy? There we go.
That is 6 for you, Lothar. So you should be good.
fully
I
up.
am good. Yeah, I'm fully up.
Nice.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Are you going to take Wolford, Matt?
Yeah, I'm bringing him back in.
Okay.
He's all healed up now. He's got 3 hit points. That's at least 2 more than you need.
Okay. So you're okay with not going to full with him?
Yeah. I mean, as a barbarian, I'm staying true as it's written. He disdains magical healing.
That's right.
He thinks that stuff is hoodoo voodoo and doesn't want any part of it.
It's the truth.
So
word up.
if you can't heal up on your own, why bother?
Right on. Okay, so we've got a decision to make now. So you want to spend the whole day, or do you want to move on?
They want to go, man.
And if you want to go, who are you taking with you?
So we talked about, and see if you guys just want to make sure you guys are cool with it. We talked about bringing Sam, because Sam has not seen any action
absolutely
at all.
Let's bring Sam.
She's been like guarding stuff, and she's gonna like lose her cool and just leave if we don't get her out.
Okay,
we'll be happy to mind the store.
All right. So
and,
someone bring up Sam's character sheet, and is any other retainer going besides Sam?
How do you guys feel about bringing y'all? I thought that might be nice to have like a big heap and helping of hit points.
I mean, we got Trefco. But yeah, you want to bring y'all? Bring y'all.
I mean, he got more stuff than Trefco does. Because are we going to go directly talk to the Beastmen, or are we going to go try to like take care of those cephalopods and loot them? What do you guys want to do?
I like your idea on the Discord of opening some of the doors we've never looked in out of the Debouchement room.
Right.
You know, open a few doors just to stretch our legs. You know, a little calisthenic adventuring, and then go talk to the Beastmen.
Maybe just to fill in part of the map, man. Those two doors on the southern side of the debouche room, we could go check those out real quick. It's probably just one room on each side.
Yep, probably.
And the one to
corridor.
the on the east side, right north of the portcullis.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm hearing that besides the three of you, there's going to be Sam, Trefco, and y'all. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay,
That sounds accurate.
All right, so it's sort of like you're all sort of here. You know, you're not really venturing off, really, but you all collect yourselves and you're feeling a little bit better. It hasn't been that long since you guys declared what your other characters were doing at downtime, so that those things have just barely gotten underway, right? But needless to say, everyone's sort of watching to see what you guys do. Bottleneck is a little bit put out in general just because of what happened upstairs, but they're working to sort of get order restored and kind of planning on what to do. And they've already sent messengers back down. Last night, they sent messengers down to Killick and then from Killick to the boss, to the king, to explain, to, send word. Okay. So I would tell you the weather, but you have no idea what it's like up there. All right. So we'll start it at the adventuring day at 8 a.m. sharp.
All right.
Let's see. You have a lantern that has 9 turns left, so I just got to remember that. Okay, so in the guttering torchlight of the glory of Thoth, you look around you and you say, hey, there's some places here that we've never been. And you've got goblins around.
Jelenios, John?
Huh?
7th of Jelenios?
Oh, yeah, no? we should make a big deal about that, right? A day has passed. Next day. Congratulations, guys.
Woohoo! It's my birthday.
That doesn't happen all that many times.
No. Okay. Should we just go clockwise? Start with the eastern open corridor and just have a look in there?
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I can't believe we've never done this. This is insane. Okay.
Now, you don't have to go in blind, right? You've got goblins all around you that have claimed this territory.
Yeah.
Why don't we ask around? What
you don't have to ask them if you don't want to, but they're like right there.
I mean,
when the DM makes a suggestion like that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Hey, how many of you have died? Wolford would ask. How many of you died going down here anyway?
None of us, sir.
What the hell's there? How come we've never been?
Well, I couldn't tell you that. I mean, you were totally free to walk down that hallway if you want.
Well, fine. I mean, is there some kind of dragon, another dragon down there waiting to eat us? What the hell?
Well, this is just like a random goblin who's sort of stationed in front of that passageway.
He just like grabs one by the ear and starts yelling at him.
He's like, so sorry. So there's no, it's an archway, but there's no portcullis like the one that leads to the halflings chambers were.
Yep.
And he tells you, well, we just been tossing our trash in there, but there is something weird in there. There's like a floating statue of a head and shoulders of a guy just sort of floating in the air. It's a little weird.
That sounds worth looking at.
So, sounds like a trash room to me.
Yeah, let's go in there.
Yeah, let's
right.
go. He'll shine the lantern down the hallway.
You can hear him like under his breath, like whisper to his companion. He's like, accounting for taste. And you guys go strolling into that chamber there. Okay, so basically it goes east for 20 feet. And then right there at the 10-foot mark, it basically turns north and opens up into a 20-foot by 20-foot square chamber. And you would be entering in directly from the southwestern side on the southern wall. So relatively small. Doesn't seem to be any egress out of here.
Like this, John?
Or
close enough.
Check. I think you're going east for 20 feet, and then the square chamber is to the north of that.
So I need to bump the square chamber 10 feet up?
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Right. So it's not lit in here. You want to light that nine turn lantern? Okay. And that's Wolford's going to carry it?
Wolford's got it, yeah.
Okay. Wolford's lantern.
Sword in one hand, lantern in the other.
Okay. So yeah, you walk into this room, and there is a 2-foot deep pile of trash that basically covers the entire floor.
Gross.
However, which isn't surprising, but the strange thing that you see is that floating above the junk appears to be a life-sized bust made out of bronze that is of a bearded man of noble demeanor. But you can see that his eye sockets are completely empty, and his lips appear to be pursed as if they were in the midst of speech. Now,
John,
the strange thing is let's see, would any of you who's here, Mort,
Sir?
and I think Lothar was there for that as well. Was Lothar at the Blue Pillar room? He was, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
No, he was not.
No?
He got found in the ruins when Avaricios almost fell on him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
So,
and Njal was there.
Okay, so Njal and Mort, you guys both recognize the likeness of the man depicted in this bronze bust as one of the faces on the Blue Pillar.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Which direction was, because I remember they were facing all in different directions. Was he the one facing like south west?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
So like empty eye sockets, like same kind of empty eye sockets as the Blue Pillar?
No, because it's made out of a different material, but they both depictions did have empty eye sockets. Yes.
Like roughly the same size, like.
This one's life size. I can't remember exactly what the other one was.
Okay.
Well, there were some that had coins, right? With coins. There was one that had the gem, I think, with the eye, and we found the other one, or at least we found one downstairs at the Goblin Market. Remember, we bought
the other
traded
eye.
for. Yeah. Right?
So this is this was the face that was facing northeast on the pillar. And yeah, at empty eye sockets, there was his nose was broken, like not carved broken, but actually physically broken. And there was graffiti that was written across it. I can't remember. It was in Mithric, so I can't remember if anyone there could actually speak it.
No.
It had a magic mouth on it that actually said, "I cannot see the path. Help me to see clearly."
Yeah, I remember that. So that's probably got to put something in the eyes.
Now, this is just sort of floating there, motionless, but it is like obviously magical because it's just floating in the middle of the air. And it's like a bust. It's like, from like the pectoral muscles upwards, the shoulders.
Is there anything underneath it?
No.
Yeah, let's.
There's trash
shove
underneath
the trash around a little bit. See if there's anything on the floor, like a marking or.
Yeah.
Or more of his eyes, or more things that would fit in his eyes.
I mean,
okay,
if
so
there were gems lying around, the goblins took
you
it.
kind of take a turn to sort of root through the trash.
Yeah.
And I want to inspect the walls for any carvings or markings or something like that.
Sure. So you definitely don't find any markings on the wall. It doesn't seem to be like a room of any particular importance back in the day. However, when you root through the trash itself, in the and this kind of makes you go, ooh, really?
Okay.
Because it doesn't appear that the goblins would be or were aware of it, based upon the fact that it's under heaps of trash. In the southeast corner,
Southeast. Okay.
is a teleportation circle.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah. There are no activation squares inside the teleporter itself.
And we
So
haven't
the little
looked.
control box is not there.
The box is there, but there's no glass squares.
Oh, the box is there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, John, quick question about the bust. I just checked the notes from when we were in the Blue Pillar room. That was a young man.
Mm-hmm.
And this man appears to be old. Is that correct? He has a long beard? Or
no, not a long beard. He has a trim beard.
Okay.
The same as the other one.
He's a noble.
So he looks
man,
like the same guy.
said.
It appears to be the same guy. Yeah.
Guys, don't get me killed. I have to go choke my kids out, and I'm going to put them to sleep.
Murder bad.
That was a euphemism. I just want to make that clear to everybody. Okay.
Yeah. Lothar sticks his fingers in the eye holes and wiggles them around.
So you're sort of, so nothing happens. It doesn't move or respond to any sort of prodding or messing around with it or anything like that. And you're just kind of think to yourself, I can't believe there's a teleportation square in the entire time.
right there. Damn it.
I kind of want to, like, we know the code for one circle, right? That's the one by the goblins. Is that what Cesaro gave us?
You do,
I kind of want to just try it, but that would be off the plan. That would not be.
We know it'll work. But I mean, that's a good.
We've heard they work.
Of course we do.
Oh, okay, cool. So the question is, though, why put? Because the blue pillars seem to teleport people, right? Like.
My theory there would be that these are kind of different times.
That's what I was about to propose. I was like, it makes sense. You go through the pyramid, you come down to the Debouchement level, right? And then you need to go elsewhere within the complex. You use a teleport circle. Great. Then later on, nobody knows how those work, so they build another system, or the Setites build a system. There's competing teleport. It's like the two different subway systems in New York. They were competing. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have such radically different systems, but it's a good location for it.
Yeah, I mean, and this makes this kind of like a transfer junction, right? Like you can teleport one way and then teleport the other way. John, looking at his eyes, the eye holes, and the single eye that we have, does it seem like this is the eye that we bought downstairs, right? Yeah. Does it look like that eye would fit in here?
The eye you bought downstairs. I'm going to have to look.
From Life Cream. Life Cream. Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah, hold on.
It was one like blue eye or something. I just don't know who has it right now. We'd have to check with everybody else in the Debouchement.
Actually, no, I can tell you. Oops, I didn't mean to close that folder. I think it's actually in our stash. Because
we're ready to try it.
And I sort of thought, well, we don't need to necessarily carry this thing around if we're not going down there. So
this thing is floating about 5 feet in the air, by the way, letting you know.
Okay, Mort bought it, and I think I just put it away because I didn't want to get killed carrying it and lose it. So it's actually over in the stash if we wanted to go get it.
I mean, John, is it realistic for Mort to be able to remember the size, or would we need to go get it and like check eye to eye and see if it looks to be about the same size?
I'm checking. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Here we go.
Yes, it does appear that that eye would probably fit.
The sapphire eye that we bought it from Life Cream. we traded it for the curved dagger, and we would fit. Okay, that's awesome.
And I don't I have to check their notes. Do we remember if he had one eye in or not? Is it a northeast face, young man in bas relief? He has a magic mouth. I cannot see the path. Help me to see clearly.
Well, that was all part of my screw up, so I can't even remember like what, you know what I mean? What was supposed to be there, what wasn't supposed to be there.
Oh. Yeah. One strange golden eye in left eye socket. Yeah. So he had one in. Yeah, one strange golden eye in left eye socket. The eye has been exquisitely carved with lashes and irises and everything.
This is a blue sapphire we've got, so it might not be for this face, right? Because weren't each of the faces sort of activated differently?
Yes.
Yeah, they had one like the one we used to get back had the coins.
Right.
There was another with a ibis medallion. But interesting. Like I don't want to. What's that?
Well, I wonder if this head and pillar arrangement, it might actually be like a more secure method of I mean, anybody with the teleport stones can hop around, right? But if like you have to have two particular things to activate one of the heads or the pillar, it's not just for everybody, you know?
Yeah. And both of these eyes sockets are empty, right, John?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's great. I say now is not the time to start plugging eyeballs in and finding out what happens, because, you know, fuck around and find out.
Well, I think, and I think we need two anyway. So.
Right. That being said, I think that Lothar definitely ticks up the gem and sticks it in there while the rest of us leave, right? Yeah, I thought so. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And hey, you know what? We can ask Avaricios to do a locate object. Is that something we could just do now, John, or do we need to do that more when like I'm actively playing him? Because he's right over there in the room.
Yeah, you can do it if you want.
Isn't he kind of busy with Lyda's body? I mean,
he's kind of. It just takes a minute. A minute to do it. You ready for that? Okay.
I'll tell you what. If you want to do that, I think Mort might pay a goblin to get all the trash out of here and throw it down the chasm.
That's simple enough, right? Yeah, he could just go south down the long and throw it over the edge.
Yeah, I'll find some goblin who looks like he's bored with nothing to do, and I'll give him a few gold coins to throw. Get all this trash out of here, clean it out.
Okay. And we'll make sure that the eye that we bought is in the pyramid, so that it's in another space.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go back and Avaricios will cast his locate object spell.
Okay.
He'll try to. It's 120 feet, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And he look for the other eye. So if the one eye is in the extra dimensional space under the pyramid, he'd be searching for the other eye, and he just kind of wander around the edge of the debouchement to see if he gets any pings on it.
Okay. So yeah, you spend the 6 turns that you don't have to spend that long if you don't want to, but you only pick up the one that's in the stash.
Okay.
So something
it's good to know that's not. Yeah. Ouch.
Comedy, goblin comedy, baby.
So do you want to take the whole 6 turns, or do?
For the locate object thing?
Yeah.
Where else could he go?
We could.
I guess he
just sort of walk around all the kind of safe areas, you know, kind of to the limits of where we can go in this debouchement level without running into something nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could walk over to like the pyramid in the that western catacombs room over here, and then walk north up to the room near the Ma'at feather, and just kind of do that circuit, kind of going along the outer side.
Go over to the 3 sarcophagus room on the east side there too. Maybe, you know.
Okay.
It'd be hilarious if it turned out to be in the cavern with the ultimate evil obelisk in it. But I'm guessing
if I
it's
bring
nowhere
you
on
in-
this level.
Probably not, but it's easy enough to take a stroll around. Then walks over here.
Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo.
Okay.
Do.
I'm looking at stuff, but
Okay.
yeah, you don't nothing pings.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So an hour goes by. It is now 9:10 a.m.
Okay. Should we go ahead and open another door without Mike?
Yeah, let's do the one
Clockwise?
in the south. Yeah,
The
that southeast corner.
eastern corner.
Oh, okay.
And then when Mike comes back, I'll go tuck my kid in.
Okay.
And you guys can make me do dumb stuff.
Or you can go now, and I'll just run this party like with my iron fist of goblin
to the
dominance.
ground.
Yeah.
And I'll wait till he gets back.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what's going on with that door in the southeast corner, John?
So that door appears to be normal. It's
Okay.
closed.
If we harass any of the goblins, can we ask if they've been down in there?
Yeah, you can ask them. They say that they kind of give it like a little bit of like a weird look, and they're like, "We hear things from in there."
Sweet. This sounds like a job made for Mort.
It
I
sounds like
will listen at the door.
multi-legged things.
Oh,
Probably
no.
gross. You probably thought it was better part of valor just to leave the door shut.
Nice. All right, Lothar, you go first. I mean, no, I'll listen at the door, John.
Okay, I think I turn to listen. Go ahead and roll.
Yep. Gonna roll a 6-sided die, and I rolled a 4. So I obviously hear all the spiders.
Yeah, you don't really hear anything
And,
beyond there, but the goblins do tell you that they've definitely heard something in there a few times.
Okay. Normal door, not locked, just shut.
Yep.
All right. What do you guys say? Ready our weapons and open the door?
They probably would have spiked it actually now that I think about it, but you can take them out, no problem.
Okay.
Let's tie a rope to the door. Does it open out towards us or does it push in?
Whatever you want.
How about it opens out towards us, tie a rope to it, open it up, and then but stay like 10, 20 feet back.
Yeah. All right. Piece of twine, maybe. Twine's awful handy.
Love twine.
Twine.
Wine's pretty good.
Okay. We will do this, John. Remove the spikes, tie it on, prepare ourselves with some distance from the door,
Mm-hmm.
and pull on the.
And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go tuck that kid in, and I'll come back to die by spider. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
We'll save you.
We
Save you.
need to coordinate our kids' bedtimes, Matt.
You you pull open the door, and I'm going to check for something.
Oh, what are you
Don't mind
checking for,
me.
Okay, so yeah, you pull open the door cautiously. The goblins have all sort of pulled back, and you see that a few of them actually have pulled out bows and arrows as well, as they don't really like what you're doing, but they, as long as you guys are the ones getting hurt, they're cool with it. And you open the door, and you are immediately. The first thing that you notice when you open the door is that there is a red pulsating glow that kind of emits out of the room, and you can see what the source of that is that in a very small chamber that is filled with trash, there appears to be scuttling hastily towards you. Actually, you know what? I don't think they would actually hastily. I think they would kind of scuttle towards the back. Are two very large fire beetles with their bright red abdomens. And
Let's shoot those from back here.
But they are there, and they look like they are pissed off that you've disturbed their rest, but they also look kind of, you know what I mean, like they kind of ran away from the light.
Right.
The room itself is a perfect square, 20 by 20, and you are entering in from the northeastern side of the northern wall.
Northeast. Okay, so 20 by 20. And are there any exits from the room?
There are not, no. The room itself is filled with even more trash than the other place was. Broken bits of wood, moldy pieces of plaster, several skulls and broken bones, broken pieces of metal, torn strips of cloth, a whole bunch of junk in there. And rooting through it all are these two beetles, and they're sort of in the back corner right now. So goblins are sort of peering between your legs and over your shoulders, but they can't quite get a beat on it because you guys are sort of in front of that door. But you were aware of them. They are aware of you. There was no surprise. So I'm going to say initiative. So declarations. Does anyone want to block, cast spells? No?
If you guys with missile weapons will be shooting at them, I can stand sort of by the door and do blocking.
I don't have a missile weapon.
Let me see.
I just need to know spells. Is anyone spells?
No.
Or blocking. Okay. Roll for initiative, please.
I'm still up for initiative.
It's still, yeah. Oh,
I got a 6.
Well,
good job, Mike.
I'm not going to be up for long. 5.
Okay.
5.
All right. So they are going to. They're going to kind of look, and I think that because they're cornered, they're just beetles. What are they going to attempt to do? You guys aren't standing right. You guys aren't standing right in front of the door, right?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. I think that what they're going to try to do is they're going to attempt to race forward and head to the west. Like they're going to like go out of the door and immediately try to like just get out of, like race around.
Escape.
To escape, basically, yeah. So. Yeah. Because you haven't done anything hostile to them yet, but in their animal intelligence, they do understand that they're back in a corner, so they just want to, like a roach would do, you know what I mean? Like they just want to get the fuck out, so they basically charge you, and it looks extremely aggressive, but they don't run into you. They sort of move directly to the west, and they have a movement of that. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they get right to the edge of that archway heading south. And it looks like they're about to like roll into there.
And how many of them were there? I didn't hear that part.
2.
All right, it's your turn.
Okay.
They're fire beetles, Matt. They're fire beetles.
Okay.
Which we fought these before at the cave with the bear, right? Or the lizard.
You saw them there. I don't remember if you fought them, but
saw them.
Didn't we get their organs for light?
The bear had them already. He was eating them.
Oh, that's right. So if this thing's just ran south, they would be running into occupied goblin territory, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't let them just run off.
John, I'm going to attack.
Yeah, we're going to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bugs. You smash them. You
kill
them.
Okay. So movement first. Is anyone moving?
Yeah, I'm going to move up to attack them.
I also will.
Okay. Any missiles?
Who wants to drive Njal or Sam?
More importantly, Trefko.
Yeah.
I
So there are 3. We each should take one.
Trefko.
Okay. I'll take Njal.
All right. Okay. So assuming melee people are moving into melee, missiles can go before those people close. Any missiles?
I don't think anyone's using missile weapons, John.
Okay. So that means that I would say like 3 people each could probably attack a beetle in melee. If Trefko is going to attack a beetle in melee, that's the only person that can attack that beetle in melee.
Okay.
Trefko doesn't share beetles.
So have him attack one, John, and then the rest of us PCs will dogpile the other one.
So 3.
PCs on one, Trefko on the other.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Should we have Trefko go first?
Yeah.
All right, so he's got 4 attacks of claws plus a bite, John. Is that right?
Yeah. Do you have the stats or no?
I do. I'm just making sure I'm reading it right. Okay, so here is the 4 claw attacks. Oop, wait, what just happened? There we go. So I've got like a it added them up.
It's fine. that beetle's dead. Why don't you guys roll your attack? roll your attacks.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Go for it, Lothar.
Lothar gets a 5.
AC is 15 for these guys. They do have a hard carapace.
Okay. Wolfherd is going to take a swing. Come on, Wolfherd.
Oh,
Oh, yes. That's
You
a
cheeky
16,
devil.
baby. Welcome to the party, Wolfherd. Okay, he's got 1d8 plus 1 damage. 2 points of damage
Okay.
from Wolfherd. And we got one more. Yes, let's do Njal, please.
wait. I thought it was
Oh, you want
PC.
Mort?
Yeah, Mort's up.
Okay, Mort, go ahead.
Mort gets an 18. So that hits.
Yep.
And he does 10 points of damage.
Okay. All right. The beetles are gone. They were unable to escape the debouche room. Their nodules, their glowing nodules, are still there. They can be harvested if you like by a turn, and they will last for a while. Actually, they cast light in a 10-foot radius.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Give them to the goblins.
Okay.
Right.
So combat took a turn. Harvesting is going to take another turn. And you have that empty room there that's a little stinky, but it is full of heaps and heaps of trash.
Let's go root to that garbage, John.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So going through the garbage, going to take another turn. So there was some skulls and bones in there. And
Okay.
let's see. Yeah.
Anyone we know?
Fortunately not. They appear to be human. But when you're holding up one and doing your best last poor York impression, you do see that lodged inside that very skull, something twinkles at you from within, a bluish crystalline twinkle, and you look at it, pulling it out, you see that lodged inside of its ocular cavity is a rather large, like a thumbnail size sapphire, beautiful, faceted. And you can immediately size it up to be worth a very, very pretty penny. 1,500 gold pieces worth.
Holy moly.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, let me just add that to the treasure tracker there. That's pretty good. Wow,
And
man.
you can put it in your prison pocket. It's
I'll
easily
pop it right
transferable.
up in there.
Yeah. So the goblins are very curious
Right in
as to
front
like
of
why
y'all.
you're rooting around in the trash.
We don't tell them that there's often stuff worthwhile in the trash.
They're actually busy like oohing and awing over the fire nodules right now. So
Okay,
So-
John, are any carvings in the room? Anything like graffiti? Any like
there's
anything
not.
on the walls?
Nope. Nope. Nothing else. Nothing else too fun in here.
Okay.
I want to check that eastern wall in here to see if there's any secret panels or any things in the seam, anything cool.
Okay.
we know
Turn
there's
goes by, but you
Somewhere on
find
the other side of that wall somewhere.
you find nothing. And at that point, Wolford, your lantern goes out.
Wolford.
I've got another thing of oil right here. Don't worry about it.
All right, mark it off.
Is Wolf here from Boston? Is he from Fantasy
shut up.
Boston?
Jeez.
Shut up.
He's a wicked
Get
smart
out.
barbarian, yeah.
And my sword is wicked sharp.
Okay, it's 10 a.m.
right.
What do you do now?
We go to the next door, John, and we listen at that door and see what horrible fate awaits us.
Okay, listening. It takes a turn. You hear nothing.
Okay. This door also opens out into the debouche, so we shall do the same thing.
Okay. When you open the door, nothing presents itself as dangerous to you. You do see that there is a corridor that leads directly south for 20 feet before it turns to the west.
20 feet. So 20 feet on the eastern side, but 10 on the western side.
It's a 10-foot wide corridor that goes south for 20 feet.
Yeah, I know. And then you said it turns west. So
Turns west, yes.
does it turn west within that 20 feet or on the other side of that 20 feet?
Oh, on the other side. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. So the eastern wall is 30 feet long and the western wall is 20 feet long. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it.
Hey.
I will happily creep forward as a goblin and look around the corner.
Okay. So as you look around the corner, you're you see that there is actually a small door 20 feet beyond from where you're standing there in the corner to the west, right at the end on the western wall. Now, this is a case where it's actually good that you have goblin allies versus what the default state of this area would be with halflings who are not your friends. Because we'll say that Gangrene sort of comes up behind you and yanks on you, and Mort.
He's like, you gotta be careful there, boss. His door's not what you think it is.
And you hear like a bunch of goblins are like, no, not down there. And
A couple of us died right there. We thought that was a real door, but you pull on the door, and then there's look, you can see the seam right in front of the door on the ground.
and you look and you can see that there's definitely like a well hidden, but it to make it look like it's a part of the natural stone, but there's definitely a full on like pit trap that is right before that door, taking up the entire width of the hallway right before the door.
Ooh, okay.
We tried that,
That's a big one too.
and the floor opened up, and it took a couple of our boys. Never saw them again.
Thank you, Gangrene.
I'm wondering, guys, if it's worth trying to trigger it so we can see if it's like a bottomless pit or like a chute, or are there spikes at the bottom?
Like grappling
yeah.
hook
Also,
the
if-
handle.
Judging by the horrible sounds, it was definitely some spikes.
Oh.
If you look to see how the thing opens, you can probably just jam it so it can't open that way. If we look, John, can we see where the seams are?
Uh-huh.
Does it swing down? Does it open in the middle? Does
It's like
slide.
It's like two doors that sort of blip, and drop you in.
Okay.
So you guys got a new
that's a
place to
tricky
put
one to
trash.
jam.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, so
Well,
could we like grappling
here's-
hook the door to like trigger it?
That's nice. Yeah. Like stand back around the corner, hook it, and then pull
You do it?
to open the door.
Let's do it.
I mean, if there's
Okay.
something there that we think we could grab with the grappling hook, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so we'll just say getting that rigged up is going to take a turn. You do it, and you pull the door, and as you can hear the door sort of catch a little bit, and then indeed the floor just drops out, and it's like exactly how you wrote it there, Ted. It's like that section right there. It goes for 20 feet, though, so it's actually a little bit a quarter more to the west. Yeah.
It doesn't. Can we spike
So
the
it
trap
gets
open?
that whole hallway.
Not the whole hallway, just that one square before the door, but there's another square before that.
Yeah, I
happens.
just didn't put it in the right place.
Yeah.
Can we spike those traps open?
Sure.
There.
I would-
There's a new trash pit for you guys.
Okay,
Perfect.
you do need to remove some iron spikes though from your inventory if you're going to leave them there permanently. And-
Actually, I think I'm out of iron spikes now because I gave some to the goblins who apparently never showed up from leaving the chimney yesterday.
What?
The two goblins that I set free up the chimney, we never heard from them again.
No.
That's a shame. Well, they
So-
lost all my spikes. I'm out of spikes now, guys.
Okay, so putting the spikes, so you have that open thing there. It does appear when you kind of walk over to the edge of it that the pit is about 20 feet deep and would actually make a much better, trash disposal area. Although they were kind of like, oh, the chasm. It's, when you ordered them to do that, they were like, that's actually a good idea. Out of sight, out of mind. They're like- But some of them, there are some
John-
goblins though. Goblins are hoarders by nature too, so there is like a contingent of goblins that would rather have their trash in an accessible area just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
there's always
there you
got
go,
stuff in
guys.
there.
Yeah. Okay.
John, so the door trips the trap, but is it a fake door, or were we able to open it? Is there stuff beyond that?
So it appeared that it caught at a certain point, would not open further than that. But when you heard it like catch at a certain point, that caused the trigger of the trap to spring. So it's but the door does not open all the way.
So, like when you pull the handle, there's some sort of physical mechanism that you've pulled
Yeah,
the release.
they haven't written it down exactly what it is, but
Right, okay, yeah.
whatever. It's a trap. That's how it works.
Right.
Yeah.
So now we've disarmed it, and they can use it for trash. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
You can also use it for prisoners. looking down into the pit, John, do we just see a bunch of goblins just like
Yes,
on
you do.
the spikes?
You see two goblins like just very, very decayed. Actually, when the door swings open, there would be a really rancid stench coming up out of there, and they're long dead. Yeah.
Is there any other bones down there? Any sparkly bits?
No, actually, no. It appears that the goblins, at least for since the last time anyone bothered to clean out the pit, they were the first to fall victim to it.
Okay.
So as you collect yourself after a turn of spiking it open, we will take our first break, and
break time.
we will be right back. Okay, we are back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. So they found that pit trap there, which appears to be triggered by what appears to be a false door on the western end there. At least according to what you're aware of, it appears that you have covered all your bases here as far as obvious exits out of the debouche.
Hey, you know what? We just gave the goblins like 3 new rooms that they could use, or 2.
They knew about them.
So
You
I actually want to.
they knew about them, but they weren't using the one with the beetles in it. So now they've got another room.
Yeah.
Well, I want to pay another goblin to clear out the fire beetle room, and I want to set it up as my office. I want that to be Mortis J. Gagliano, attorney at law, adventure extraordinaire, office hours held.
They'll clear it out,
regularly.
but mark off some gold.
Yeah. So let's see. How much do I have left on me?
You could also have your retainers do it for free.
Oh
yeah, tell Gangrene. He's not doing anything. Well, he's healing up.
Yep.
Get this cleared out. Get some bunks in here and a comfortable chair, and this is our place now.
Wait, boss. Right on it.
All right. Awesome.
I'm a little bit hurt, but that's okay.
No job too small.
I'll give him 10 pieces of gold, and he can hire help and so on.
All right.
In honor of Brother Lothar's first combat, Whiskey Mike is making a return.
Oh boy.
Whiskey Mike.
Yeah.
Here's the Whiskey Mike.
A true test of your guys' might. Those 2 fire beetles ever running away. Good job.
You mocked me. You mocked my pain, John.
Okay. What do you do?
My level 1 barbarian did very well, thank you.
Right.
Guys, I think before I'm just proposing this. I think before we go down to the Beastman room, let's go down to take that angled hallway down to the southeast.
I think that's a great
and
idea.
See if that can connect anything. We might see how that relates to that cephalopod room. You know what I'm talking about?
The goblins use that corridor, so I'm just curious about what's down there just in general.
Let me counter offer. Just this is a bit meta, I suppose, but I guess what I'm getting at here is we could do that, and I'm definitely want to do that. I have whiskey in order to do that.
Hey, all 3 of us now are doing well.
Which, do you think David would rather talk to Beastmen or go explore new corridors?
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's still early in the day. Let's go poke around. Let's just look down here. See, get a little completionist action, and then we'll come back and talk to
good
Beastman.
Corridors for him, man. We're saving all the corridors with the set guys to the west. We'll save those for David. Okay.
Everybody knows Beastmen don't wake up and really get going until around 11 anyway.
Oh my God. You guys just cannot stick to a plan. We had a plan. Look at the rooms in the Debouchement, talk to the Beastmen. That was the plan. Everybody put a little thumbs up on Discord on this plan.
This is true, and normally I'd stick to it, but this is technically also Debouchement. I mean, it's just right down the hallway.
Yeah, come on, Ted. It's literally this is just their gym. We're just gonna see some goblins on a treadmill down there. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
All right. I'm here to 2-1, so we'll go with that. So you taking the same people down? You're taking
I'll go first.
Trefco and
the 6 of us.
Y'all. Okay. And Sam, right? Yeah. Okay. Sam is super psyched, by the way, to get a little action. Yeah.
I'm going to make a confession. I can't find Sam's character sheet, so
I've got it.
Retainers. Okay. So is she? No, she's not. Njal has the ruiner, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's got
Yeah,
the
Njal has.
What does Sam have?
Wait, what?
Okay.
Sam has Set's Bane, which
Set's
is
Bane,
part of the
yeah.
reason why we wanted her to get some action to get her some experience. Because if we're going to have trouble with Setites,
Yeah.
it would be nice to have her know what she's doing.
So she had told you a while back that, or at least I can't remember if she told you or you figured it out, but the armor that she was wearing was set armor, but she obviously herself is not a Setite, so she like took it off somebody, and she doesn't have any real particular need to keep it, although it does offer her pretty decent protection. But if you were worried about her being mistaken as a Setite by someone, she had more than enough time between her time up above in the Broken Head and here to switch that out with something else. Would you rather her have a different type of armor that is within reason?
Could she just?
I don't know. I think it's awesome that she could be mistaken for a Setite because there are enemies right now. We could play that like she could be like our guard or whatever. She could have like we can use this.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. It is part of her particular idiom. Otherwise, she won't be Samantha the Red anymore. So she so she heads down and she's got that huge fuck off halberd that is like pretty kick ass looking. And you guys head south. It looks like there's not too many goblins in this general area here in general. You're going to break to the southeast right here by the concealed door, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So indeed, as you kind of go down this corridor, the sounds of goblins sort of fade away behind you. You remember that at one point there was that chamber with the circular fountain that was full of mist where goblins could be heard like happily splashing. But you don't hear that this time around. When you get to the junction point there, you can see that it goes, I guess you saw enough that you could see that, there is a small stairway that goes down and ends at a door to the east. And the corridor itself continues going southeast.
Okay.
So that's where we want to go, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just to check, just to map it out, just to check and see what's around.
Okay.
All right.
So, let's see how to best to do this. So it goes for another 20 feet in that same vector before it opens up into a strangely shaped room.
All right,
Okay.
hold on. We got okay.
Yeah. And then it basically opens up into a room that is shaped like the room shape is a parallelogram. Let's start there, Ted. Okay.
Okay.
It's a parallelogram. It is what do you call it? Oblong. So it's wider east to west than it is north to south.
Okay.
Okay.
Where am I entering on the north wall?
You're let me try to put this. First of all, the parallelogram is basically shifted. It is leaning, they lean. It's leaning towards the east. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So the northern wall is precisely 60 feet east to west, and you are coming in at the 30-foot mark from the western wall. Okay. So I would just draw that northern wall first.
Like so?
You got it. Yep. And then the parallelogram walls on the eastern and western side basically both go towards the southwest at a 45-degree angle for 30 feet. Does that make sense?
I think so. How am I doing?
Good. I think it's not your fault, but I think it was from a past mapping that doesn't quite line up, but that'll do. It's fine. And then, you can just connect that. Okay. So that's the dimensions of the room. Very, very strange. You can kind of see here, though, that there does seem to be an equal amount of strangeness of the rooms that sort of abut this eastern-western corridor, right? You kind of see what I'm talking about? There's like a parallelogram room. There's like a diamond room. There's a triangle room, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The room itself, it's dark. So we still have, Wolford.
We have a lantern,
Yeah. but there's numerous empty sconces that line the walls. Similar to both the fountain room and the pyramid room, there is a layer of gray-green mist that rises 3 feet from the floor throughout the entire chamber. Okay, so that's there's this fog that's basically just sort of 3 feet up above the ground. Directly in front of you, there are 3 stone benches, and they are facing the west. Like they've been basically, there's like three in a row, like pews, and they're lined up, and they're all facing towards the west.
Like lined up,
North
1,
to south.
2, 3. Oh, north to south.
Well,
so
no, they're if you sit in them, you would be facing west. So there's 3 of them, sort of.
Right, but they're if I sit in one of them, is there another one in front of me, or are they on the sides of me?
Another one in front of you.
Okay, so that's not what I meant to do. Let's just
And John, they all 3 of them run directly north south, or are they in line with?
No, they're that's a good question. They are perfectly in line north to south.
Like this.
So they go straight up and down.
Straight up and down, Ted. They're not
okay.
slanted. And they are all sort of on your side of the room.
And how long are they?
They're about 10 feet long each. Yeah. And they seem to be facing what appears to be rising out of the mist. Once again, remember, you can't see the floor, right? In the western side of the room, there is an onyx pillar that's about 15 feet high that rises out of the mist.
Oh.
Okay. There also appears to be, as you kind of walk into the room, you can see that your feet, although you can't really see it, you're like brushing things aside, like solid things aside. Like there appears to be like trash in the room as well. High up on the western wall, beyond the pillar itself, is it's been partly obscured by a layer of grime, is an inscription in Mithric.
Brother Lothar speaks Mithric, John.
Oh, okay.
Got this, my dude.
So it looks like you may have to step further into the room to glean more information about it.
Oh,
Can we see the floor or not?
I didn't hear anything there. What's that?
Sorry.
Said Mort, you should step further into the room. Go clean off that inscription there.
And I was curious if we can actually.
Go ahead.
I was curious if we can actually see the floor at all, or is the mist too thick to even see the floor?
You can kind of see like right in front of you, but other than that, it's the same sort of thickness as the other 2 rooms, which is pretty thick.
All right. Well, we might want to be careful. Tap carefully before you go anywhere.
Yeah, John, I'm going to actually use my 2-handed flail to kind of bounce it off the floor in front of me at length.
Okay, so as you move as you move further west, Lothar, past the benches, your flail does indeed actually dip a little bit prior to actually reaching that pillar. And you can kind of tell as you sort of feel around the perimeter of it that the pillar seems to be in the midst of a depression in the western side of the room that basically is like a parallelogram itself, a depression that basically fits sort of tightly against the western side.
Something like that?
Yeah, however, there is a pathway around it at the normal height. So it doesn't take up the entire thing. It just sort of like an inset, and then it kind of steps downwards towards where the base of the pillar is actually at the base of this little depression.
Something more like that?
Yep. But again, that you can walk around the entire thing.
So kind of dangling my flail down, John, into the mist. How far down does the depression go?
Let's see. 8 feet below. But it's a series of small, narrow steps that sort of go down all the way around it.
Does the mist seem thicker in the depression?
Not really, no.
Does it seem like it's billowing out away from the pillar?
No.
Okay. What does the pillar have on it?
So the pillar doesn't have any writing on it. It appears to be made out of a solid block of onyx, however. So it's not.
Where was the Mithric? Yeah.
The Mithric is on the western wall, a little bit high up. and it's sort of obscured by like a coat of grime. But Lothar, when you get close enough, and assuming that Wolford is behind you with the lantern, yeah,
Sure.
you can make it out. And it says in Mithric, it says, "Thou may ask of Thoth what thou will, provided thou accept his judgment."
Interesting. So this to me feels like the crux of the entire this part of the level, guys. Like, okay, people come into this room, they sit on the benches, they watch like someone like an aspirant or someone come up to the pillar, perform some sort of ritual, and then accept the judgment and get the answer that they're looking for, right? Almost like
Plausible. Yep.
Okay.
The question is, what's the mist? And we've not seen anything misty elsewhere like this.
Yeah, you have.
That's not true.
Just on this floor.
Over by the pyramid.
No. That's not what I meant. I meant like elsewhere in Arden Vul. I mean, I realized that in the next 2 rooms over, there's green mist. I mean, in other areas, right?
That's correct.
Like
That's correct. Yeah.
we've not seen green mist elsewhere.
Yeah.
And
We've
do we
not
think
seen
the
any-
mist is coming from the pool?
Yeah, there was mist coming from the pool as well. Well, there's mist in that room. You did not go into that room, so you don't really have a good beat on that room as well.
So you got
Yeah.
3.
I should mention too that when you do the plunger activity to get to Plunger Town in the pyramid room, that one of the we just kind of gloss over it because I don't want to describe it every single time. But what actually happens whenever you plunge the plunger down is that mist gouts out of some sort of like hidden vents in the pyramid itself, causing that whole room to fill with mist rather than just like the 3-foot up layer that's normally there.
Does the mist have an odor?
No.
Is it wet?
Nope. Well, I mean, maybe, yeah, I guess like water vapor, yeah.
A little clammy, maybe.
A little clammy, yeah.
So
I mean, my theory, without any evidence, like one of these places with this mist was teleporty. My theory is that something involving the pool will also teleport us somewhere, and something involving that pillar also will teleport us somewhere.
Right.
That's just my theory. I don't know if it's anywhere.
So
Well,
took a turn to get
so
into
we-
the room and a turn to investigate so far.
I mean,
We know that
teleporting is
the plunger is a transportation device that leads to the Library of Thoth and also the area with the stations of the cross, so to speak, right? So that area, the Well of Light area, right? So it's tied to that level. What if the middle area is like a cleansing thing? This room is kind of like an Alexa. And then the last room is to once you get the answer to your question, or once you've come up with a question from the library, then you come to this room to try and get like a Google answer for it or something.
Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing, though. The Debouchement level is sort of like the most accessible, right? Like this is where
now it is. Right now it is, Ted, but there might have been like in ancient times when this whole thing was built, this might have not been the easiest way to get to it, you know?
But the whole thing feels like it's designed to have someone, like people come to the city and come here, right?
Yeah.
The
Very grand,
pyramid brings high priests from the knowledge level, right? The libraries there, they come, they've got a TV on the wall there. They can make sure that no one's in the pyramid room. They appear, they come in, they do rituals with, the faithful from outside the Arden Vul kind of thing. The mist might be really very much just window dressing to make the whole thing look mystical and magical.
Right. Well, don't forget also there's a place for people to be buried on this level.
Ordinary
And
folks, probably, right?
Right. And there's a whole temple that was originally to Thoth on the western side that's been defaced by Set. So,
Yeah.
okay. You know what? Sounds like a good talk for the detox. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Well, John, while he was exploring that, can I have Wolfherd, maybe Samantha and y'all just kind of dig through the garbage and check out the floor, like look underneath the benches and stuff, like thoroughly check this room and the detritus for other interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing else interesting here, unfortunately. It looks like there probably was a lot of painted frescoes on the walls, but those have all been thoroughly obliterated.
Mort would, if the depression is stepped down like 8 feet,
Mhm.
that seems like if he could use like his shield to kind of fan the mist away and kind of go down into the depression carefully, he might find something down there.
Yep. You can do that. The mist closes back in, but you can definitely get a gander at sort of what you're looking at. The steps are very, very steep, right? As they go down quickly, and they're on all four sides of the depression. But
like
exactly right. Yeah. At the base, it's there's nothing actually of interest down there. The pillar is sort of unremarkably just sort of built into the ground. It doesn't have like a pediment that is particularly noteworthy or anything like that. It's just sort of rises straight out of the stone.
And nothing.
No depressions.
No, nothing. No markings or anything. No, pure onyx.
No. Can I ask something? Does it look like the obelisks outside on the surface? The ones that have, I mean, those definitely have writing and stuff on them. But is it similar? Does it reflect that?
No, it's a pillar, so it's actually like a cylinder.
Oh, just a pillar. I
not four-sided. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Does it go all the way to the ceiling?
No,
or
nope,
does it
it's
stop
15 feet high total. So it goes almost to the ceiling, but not quite.
And it's just cut off, truncated on the top, flat, or like.
Well, it has like what's the Doric, like a unadorned. A capital.
The scroll thing on top.
That's the Ionic. So it's plain, so that would be the Doric one, right?
Okay.
Guys, I want to see what's on top of this thing. I want to climb up the pillar and look up what's there.
There's nothing on the top.
And damn it.
Maybe you should sit there like a hermit, an ascetic out in the desert. And
I'm not a damn hermit. I'm not gonna sit up there like a fool.
Boy.
Well, guys, the one thing we haven't really tried is to ask Thoth a question in this room.
Maybe
what do we want to know?
That's an awesome idea. Let's sit on a bench and have somebody approach the pillar and ask a question. I love it.
Yeah. Who wants to do it?
What the hell do we want to know?
I'll do it. I've got a Thoth symbol.
Okay.
Mort will go up and he'll kneel at the edge of the depression and hold up his symbol of Thoth. And let's see, what do I want to know?
You could ask what the green mist is. You could ask if.
Let's see. Wait, hold on. Thou may ask of Thoth what thou will, provided that thou accept his judgment.
You could ask for the teleportation like address for that room in the floating bus room.
That's great idea. Okay, that is what I will do.
Okay, John. Before he does that, I'm going to go to the last bench and crouch down and look
Out of
over
the last
Sure. Yep. Mighty Thoth.
What do you say, Mark?
Yeah, do we need like those Gallagher like ponchos?
Yeah, don't sit in the front row at a Gallagher concert.
So, Almighty Thoth, thy wisdom is great. Enlighten me with the correct sequence of stones to utilize the teleport circle on this level. I beseech thee.
Nothing happens.
Damn it.
You
forgot to say please, Dad. You forgot to say please.
You look like a fool.
I do. I feel like a fool. I've been spoiled on religion forever.
You hear Trefko like in the back corner, like near the exit, just sort of like huffing like boredom, just
Trefko's my spirit animal.
All right. This room's boring. Let's get out of here.
Climb and speak and very strange.
Oh, come on, Trefko. It's highly entertaining. So what, you want to hit that little staircase with door then?
Yeah, John, do those, if we go back up to the north a little bit on that angled hallway, do those stairs go up or do they go down?
They go down.
Okay, and we know that the Plunger Town is up. We don't know what's down, other than trolls and nastiness.
There's a door right there, so it's like it doesn't go down that far. It's not like a level defining staircase, right? There's a door, like literally just right down at the base of the steps.
Well, hell, shit, yeah, I'll go down there and listen at that door. What the hell?
All right.
Okay. So you go back out. I'm gonna say fucking around took a turn. It's 11 a.m.
Yeah,
We
baby.
didn't find anything out though, so
And then you're going to listen. You do not hear anything.
Let's do the same.
does the
same
door-
trick with the door? The rope.
well, first, before I do that, I'm going to check the floor in front. Now that we know that there are traps, I want to look
Smart.
and see if this is another fake door like the other one before I die.
It's going to
I'll
take
be
a
up
turn.
in the hallway, John. I'll be up in the hallway.
Okay, so you do a very thorough search of weird mechanisms or seams or anything like that. You're pretty confident that it seems to be pretty normal.
Okay. All right. It seems clear. I'm going to open it.
Okay, so yeah,
I
it seems
open
to be like a simple wooden door, and you open it up, and it reveals a chamber that is 25 feet by 15 feet. So it's 25 feet east to west and 15 feet north to south, and you are entering in on the northwestern corner of the western wall. So there's
My Miro's having a problem here, guys.
so the chamber itself, there's a thick layer of trash again in here. There's bits of leather, some ruined clothing, some scraps of metal, and there is definitely there's a mound of very foul smelling, decaying animal matter of some sort in a corner.
Ew.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
All right,
yeah.
I missed the my Miro was freaking out, John. I missed the dimensions of the room. I'm sorry.
So it's 25 feet east to west, and it's 15 feet north to south, and you're coming in from the northwestern corner on the western wall. So basically, you were going to want to give yourself a half square right beyond the door to the east. Yeah, more or less, yeah.
I'm not a cartographer.
Yeah.
I'm just a little goblin. All right, so it's a room full of trash.
Appears to be that way, yeah, and smelly, yeah.
So we no obvious other exits from this room. Looking up and around, are there any more of those cephalopod things? Because
you don't see any, but you once again you looked up in the room where they did exist and missed them as well.
But the walls and the ceiling are kind of plain in here. No.
Yeah, there's no frescoes or anything like that. It doesn't look like there probably was at any point. Like there's no like pieces of plaster that have fallen off or anything like that.
Okay.
All right. Just
I'm
to
a little
check.
afraid of the,
Oh,
go ahead. I was just going to say I'm a little afraid of the animal trash, the animal grossness.
I want to take one of my unlit torches and just chuck it at the pile of smelly dead animal. I want to see if anything like reacts.
Nothing reacts. A little bit of it moves, but a little bit of a squelching sound, but it's fine.
All right. Well, I don't know what you're afraid of. Everything's dead in here. I'm going to go around, poke around.
All right. Poke, poke, poke.
Poke, poke.
Okay, so you take a turn to go poking around.
Yes.
Okay, so poking around, you do some thorough searching through there. It's pretty foul in here, but you do actually find mixed among the trash something that makes your heart quicken a little bit. Although you already have one, but it's still kind of cool to find. There is a 6-inch square white glass tile.
Ooh.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's pretty great.
Indeed, yeah.
All right.
That's what you found from searching through the
are
trash.
Are those encumbering, John? I don't remember.
No. The set
No?
is, but not
Okay.
one.
Okay, Wolford's got the tile, just so we don't
All right.
waste time.
Who Wolfram's carrying it?
Yeah, Wolford, yeah.
Wolford. Right, sorry.
Yeah. Get it right, damn it.
Yeah, well, whatever.
All right, so that's what you find from
great.
looking through the trash.
You guys know what that means, right? Do you know what that
Yeah,
means?
good. We did
We
good.
just hit 5 rooms, baby.
Nice.
What's that? Oh,
We just hit 5
Ooh.
rooms. All right. Now let's go talk to the Beastman.
Okay.
One, I think my completionist urge is satiated. Let's do it.
All right, so you're not searching
Okay.
anything else in this room?
Oh, I thought we had searched it thoroughly. Okay.
Search for secret doors, I think, right?
I do. Looking towards on that eastern wall, maybe somebody else wants to search south to see if there's any
I'll do the
seams
south.
or hidden walls.
I'm gonna John, I'll do the same thing.
Okay, what are you looking for? Secret doors?
Yeah.
Okay. Lothar, on the southern wall, you can see that after a while of searching, I'm going to mark off a turn, that on the southern wall, on the eastern corner of it, you do indeed find what appears to be a there's a 4-foot square sliding panel in the wall that leads south.
Ugh.
And otherwise, John, the walls are unadorned in here, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Say, Mort. Mort.
Yeah.
You want to come over here and take a look at this here, Mort. Whiskins are southern, right? Is that what we decided?
Is that what Lothar sounds like this whole time? You've been holding out on this, man.
Mort, you come over here and you check this hiddly diddly little panel right here.
This is Mike's revenge for Darius, I think. Here, this.
Mort,
you go first.
that's what to establish what Whiskins sound like. I'm sorry.
Y'all just shakes his head. What the hell are you talking about? We don't talk like that back home.
What do you do with the door?
Mort's going to come over to the door, give Lothar a look, and then start, feeling around the edges of the door for a release or a catch or pressure point.
You can find one. It's a sliding panel, 4-foot square.
Yeah. Open it.
I hold my breath.
And then ask to borrow the lantern and hold it into the hole.
Okay, cool. So when you open it, there's definitely like a release of air that's been in there for a long time, musty, kind of comes out. There's complete
the Lost Ark.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very dark. And there's a narrow 5-foot wide corridor that goes directly south. When you push your Wolford's lantern forward, you can see that after 30 feet, there appears to be a very narrow, rough-hewn staircase that leads upwards.
Boy, I did have some mapping problems here, didn't I? 30 feet.
Yeah, but don't forget, Ted, this is actually underneath the parallelogram room.
Correct.
Yeah, it went down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So the original staircase that you went down was 15 feet down, just to be clear.
Oh, okay.
And how far up do these stairs go?
15 feet.
Oh.
And they hit a blank wall.
To a blank wall?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, Ted, there might be another diddly little secret door there?
Well, I reckon I better go find out there, hadn't I, sir? Well, I'll just take my little goblin self right up them stairs there and check it on out.
I like nudge Niall and I'd be like,
Oh, man.
is he making fun of us?
I am making fun of you.
No, just shakes his head. I don't know what's wrong with these guys.
Okay, so
muttering to himself, Mort goes up the stairs and will happily check out this blank wall, looking for a similar sort of mechanism.
Because you know what you're looking for. I'm not going to say it takes a turn, but you do indeed find another very similar panel.
All right, and I will. I'll trigger it open.
Okay, when you open it up, you find yourself standing in that very large chamber where you know that cephalopods like to dwell.
Shut the door!
Yeah.
Shut the door!
I did. Oh, I see what I did wrong with my map now, actually.
No.
Yeah, okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to, as soon as I recognize the cephalopod room, I will immediately close that door as requested. Okay. And then we're going to put the S right there. Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Now you have like a little bit of a shortcut to get to that area should you wish to return to it.
Cool.
Yeah. So here's what we do. As David comes running back, we trigger that open and go, "Hey, David, what are you doing?"
This way.
All right.
Then close it right on his
Yeah,
face.
close it in his face.
All right. As you close that door and you're able to close that loop on the map, we're going to take our second break, and we will be right back. Okay, we back. Bladder's empty, beer's full. So we have closed a loop with secret doors, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
What would you like to do now?
Let's go chat with Beastman.
I think it's Beastman time.
Okay. So what is your approach going to be?
Why don't we go up north just a little tiny bit and head east and then head down that hallway? I mean, I can't think of, I think that room, that diamond-shaped room with the pool needs some investigation, but I don't think we need to do that right now. I think we should go on to the east, between the magic mouths, and go south.
To the west, you mean? Yeah.
You guys down?
Yeah.
Sorry, west.
Okay, so you want to bypass the fountain room, even though you're passing by it?
Yeah, that we can worry about it later.
Okay. The warring
John, you with your okays.
the warring magic mouths speak up as you move through that door again. Goblins don't seem to be anywhere around, and you're basically backtracking exactly the same way that you came before. So you move through that door to the south. The barricade is before you. You see the halfling skull is still there and all that sort of stuff. Spear trap's been avoided. Now, at this point, you had moved through that door to the south, and it called out. Or no, I guess you hadn't gone through the door. You had stopped here and you had called out.
Right.
And nothing had
and then
happened.
we went to the door to the east.
And then you went to the east. Yeah. So, what do you wish to do?
Why don't we knock at the door and then call out again to the south, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you open the door?
No, we'll knock first. Let's knock first. Sure. Be polite.
Okay.
I'll knock. Hello? Hello, is anyone there? We'd like to talk.
No one answers. Oh, it also took, I'm going to say, 3 turns to get to this point.
Okay.
It is now just afternoon.
All right. I'm going to, you guys have been here before. What's on the other side of this door? Anything to worry about? Can we just open it? I just open it.
I think we probably could.
Okay, you open the door, and you see that there is a relatively clean corridor leading south. Mort and y'all, I guess, would recognize it.
Yep. So the corridor goes down to the gargoyle room. So we could probably afford to check out this door to the west if you like.
Well, now, hold on there, Slick Willie.
We
know that there's a bunch of undead set-type guys like somewhere in that vicinity, somewhere in that corner, because the goblins were pooping themselves about us opening those doors, right?
I mean, that's 200 feet
down
away.
South they were. Yeah. They were worried about this door.
Wait, what is our mission, Ted? Talking about cranking on us for being like off mission.
Well, we're going to see if the beastmen are behind this door. We got to see if they're there. How are you going to know?
It's like herding cats. All right, whatever.
That's
dude.
what
Open the door. I don't care.
What? We know that they might be there. They had guards behind the arrow slits. I listen at that door, John. Anything there?
Lift it away.
Hold on a second. Sorry.
Why don't you just knock on the door?
At the door that you just opened?
No, the one to the west.
The one
the other side of it.
Oh, to the west.
That's 30 feet south, the door to the west.
Okay. You listen there for a turn?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Okay. 3. Seems fine.
Yeah, it seems pretty quiet.
Great day. So quiet. Nothing ever happens around here. Boring.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna knock at that door. Boom, 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 boom. Anyone there? We want to say hello. Come on.
I love this guy.
Who's in there?
Avon calling.
If there were a book of rules about adventuring, we're breaking them all.
Yeah.
What, you knock? We're trying to be polite, right? We're trying to talk to these guys.
Yeah,
If they're there, we knock.
Yep.
Say hello.
Okay,
It's
so
it's basic manners.
so you actually hear like some shuffling.
Barbarian.
You hear some shuffling of
shuffling.
feet, and from the other side of the door, and the door is opened up. Is basically opened up towards the inside, right? And you can see that someone like basically pulls, like they open the door and then they sort of stand back away, so further west from you. Okay, and you can see that beyond there is a corridor that leads at least 30 feet directly towards the west, 10 feet wide, and standing about 10 feet away from you towards the west are a group of beastmen.
See?
We darned.
Indeed. And they look very, very wary. Very, very wary. They are wearing ringmail, and they're wielding shields, and they have spears out that they have like brace, and they're kind of like on guard, like looking at you, like, you know what I mean? Like they've got their shield and they got a spear like forward, and they're well organized in a row, and they all have surcoats on over their ringmail, and that depicts a green field with a mailed fist holding a wheat shaft. Okay, and on the that's their arms. Okay,
Does that coat of arms ring any bells as like a sort of a legionary thing? Is this like really really old? Like, oh my god, it's the ancient wheat sheaves,
No, well, that's a good question. Actually, more you would recognize it that it's mimicking the style of an imperial coat of arms, or a legion's coat of arms, but it is not one that you recognize. Okay,
all right.
And there are multiple of them. They have a variety of different kinds of beast heads, although most of them seems to be sheep heads. Okay,
All right.
usually with like tiny little horns,
Right.
And they're standing at the ready, and they look very, very nervous. And you can see that there's one that actually has his spear out, but his shield is set to the wall, and he appears to have one hand on something on the wall, on the north wall. Okay, and he's looking very, very nervous.
Okay.
And they
I say no need to be nervous now. We're just here to talk. This fellow, in fact, I think has a few things to say.
Mort will step forward. Ave, I come under a flag of parley, seeking counsel with wait, what was his name?
Count Skleros.
Skleros,
Count Skleros.
I think. Yeah.
You wish
come
to
in
speak to
peace?
the Count?
Yes, I wish to arrange with you or your commander to set a time and place to speak under a flag of truce with the Count.
And who are you?
I am Mortis J. Gobliano, legionnaire and emissary of the Goblin King.
The Goblin King. And the rest of you as well?
We are
Yeah, we're with him.
Independent adventurers acting as emissaries on behalf of the Goblin King.
Their eyes narrow, they're adventurers, and they look up at the huge form looming up behind you. They're like, you don't look like adventurers.
We are successful adventurers.
How did you hear of the Count's name?
It is well known in these parts that the Beastmen are led by Count Skleros, of whom his might at arms is often spoken.
And they seem to be a bit mollified by that. They look intrigued. They're going to tell you, hands away from your weapons. That thing cannot come in. The rest of you here. You may wait for the Count in our chambers here.
It is not needful for him to meet with us immediately. We can set a time and place. Particularly if the presence of my companion is upsetting in some respect, perhaps it would be more neighborly for us to return under more friendly circumstances at a time agreeable to both parties.
You seemed as if you had some sort of urgency by the way that you were stomping around and calling out.
Yes, it is true that we have been looking around all day for a member of your esteemed nation, and we were getting a little a little impatient. And he glares at Cheek a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if he's available, let's just meet with him now. What else have we got to do?
He is.
I'm with the savage.
If you are willing to wait, we can accommodate you here. What is it exactly you wish to speak to the Count about?
We seek to establish good relations between the two peoples of the Goblin Kingdom and of the Beastman Kingdom.
Do you bring something for offer to the Count? Or for our queen?
Did not, in fact, actually expect to meet with them immediately. I expected to set a time and date, so I beg your forgiveness, but we bear no tribute at this time.
Why don't we just
one can easily be retrieved.
Yeah,
What?
let's go get our tribute that we planned, and we'll come back and meet you here in a few minutes.
Okay, so they seem to think they seem to judge you as if you really don't have your shit together, and so they
well, that's fair.
So they don't. So they sort of loosen their guard a little bit, like you know what I mean.
Give
Like
them the sapphire.
So they're like that. They said that's fine if we will tell the Count that you wish to meet. When would you like to meet the Count?
Would 1 hour hence be suitable?
That would be fine.
Would you prefer to meet in the barricade room? It seems to be an area of neutral ground.
They sort of look at each other. They're like, "We think that here would be best. Come back here in an hour."
Fine. All right. A moment of your time and quick huddle. Yeah, we could. You're right. The sapphire would make excellent tribute if you want to just give it to him now.
Although we could probably give him a lot less, right? Like we could give him
we'll give him less.
100 solidi, and then we still have all that portable sapphire goodness on us.
Totally true. Okay. 1 hour hence, a flag of truce between our two peoples. And I will hold out my hand in the greeting, the clasped palms of the legions.
Okay.
Do they recognize it and accept it?
They do, I guess. Yeah, they would probably recognize it. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
All right. So you leave. Is that right? Or are you staying?
Yeah.
We'll leave.
Okay.
All right,
cool. So you close the door behind you, and everything goes quiet once again. Takes a turn.
All we saw was about 30 feet of corridor.
Yeah, but it went on from beyond that.
Yeah. We couldn't tell what he was putting his hand on the wall.
Not really. No. There was 5 of them, by the way.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it was an alarm, Ted. It might have been the signal of the horns, or maybe it was a trap.
Yeah. I'm actually a little puzzled that they're in this corridor, to be honest.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was going to be shuffling. When he said shuffling steps, I was like undead.
You guys got to have faith in Wilford. He knows what he's doing.
I think he might, yes.
I think we need to have Trefco left behind in the barricade room, but close at hand.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, he could charge. He could be there in seconds if he's in that barricade room. I think that's a good place for him to be.
Okay. And maybe with Sam, right? Like, so maybe like.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know.
let Sam come. Let Sam come. Sam's tired of just like sitting around being guarding things and waiting. She wants to be in the mix. I guess the thing that I'm checking my notes on are, did the king give the Goblin King, did he give us some gold to use with the Beastmen, with Count Skleros?
Oh, he didn't. I'm like 90% sure that he didn't give us anything. We gave him stuff.
No, yeah, he didn't. He hasn't given you anything.
Okay.
It was just like sort of like he expressed a desire that would be cool if that happened, but you guys didn't like really bite at it. So you know what I mean? Like you didn't discuss like what the logistics of the whole thing would be.
Okay.
That's not to say we wouldn't necessarily get repaid, Matt.
That's fine. I mean, it's just gold. We don't care. We should go into our stash. Let's just agree on an amount. Like, what's a decent, like, eyebrow raising amount? Like 50 solidi. That's 500 gold.
I would say 100.
So
1,000 gold pieces.
Well, I was looking at the treasure tracker, and like cash, it's so crude. How about the ivory box of styluses from the officers' barracks?
Ooh. How do we know? Do we have a value on that, 10?
50 gold pieces.
See, I like that as like a gift, but I think we got to back it up with gold because it's great because it gives him something that a learned person would use, and that's something that is like a beautiful object, Right. But when it comes down to it, the only use for that solidi is for us to buy influence, right? Like, I mean, so let's buy some influence.
And that's what we're trying to do. Yeah. I say let's give him that. I think that's a great idea, Ted. Let's give him that and some solidi. 50, 100? What do you want to give him?
Why don't we give him 750? Split the difference.
Jesus,
750 gold worth. Sorry, 750 gold worth. So
75.
Yeah.
75 solidi and this beautiful ivory thing. That's significant.
Can we make it 50 solidi?
Oh my God. Sure.
Let's do it. 50.
I don't want to argue about like 25 solidi. Let's just do it.
How about 53?
Yeah. How about, can we split the difference? Like, can we do 62 solidi and 8 coppers?
Okay. So you gather your tribute from the stash, right? So you have to go back to the pyramid room. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then you're going to leave Trefco, only Trefco in the barricade room, or no?
I think we need to leave him with somebody, Matt. I don't care who.
Niall.
Niall's a lot of hit points if these guys get frisky.
Yeah, you want Niall things.
Sam, but then Matt got all about Sam. So
hey, just because I have Sam's best interest at heart, don't give me a hard time.
Poor Sam won't be a hit point monster unless you have her face some shit.
Well, I'm saying
That's right.
Leave the 2 hit point monsters here to run in and back us up.
Okay, y'all will stay and keep Trefco from eating the goblins and the beastmen.
Okay.
And the rest of us will march forward.
Oh, so hungry. Okay.
Oh,
so we can pick up some bananas while we're back at the Debouchement.
Those are easy to come by. All right. So, I know a
guy with a bag.
I'm going to say, let's see. We'll call it another. We have to wait an hour too, right? Because you're going to come back. So, yeah. So, assuming that you're going to be prompt and punctual,
yes.
We'll pass an hour here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is now 1:30 in the afternoon on the 7th. You have 3 turns left on that lantern, Wolford. You find yourself. Okay. You got a sack full of solidi. You got your ivory box. You've left Trefco and Y'all back in the barricade room, and you are now at that door once again. 1 hour later.
All right. Well, you're so fond of knocking on doors there.
Yeah, I'll do it. We're going to make sure that we leave that door to the southern hallway kind of cracked so they can hear well to see if there's any trouble.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, he'll go back to that western door and knock the same way. We're back. We've got your shit.
Oh,
all right. The same group opens up the door. They look a little bit suspicious, but when they look around and they up and down the corridor and they see that there's no sign of Trefco, they're like the Count awaits you this way. And you follow them through.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
As you do, as you walk past as the last person walks past the 10 feet beyond the open door, the person the beastman that had his hand on some sort of thing on the wall really removes his hand, and they basically allow you to pass. Like one escorts you, and then the rest are sort of behind you, so that you don't have really an easy way to sort of retreat if you wanted to.
Okay.
And you go a total of. You go 30 feet before it actually rounds a corner towards the north. I should say it turns a corner at the north. And there is a door after 10 feet to the north on the northern wall. And there is also a door on the southern wall facing it.
So, John, when we get in there and they kind of like start following in behind, I want to look back, kind of up and down, to see if that was like a lever for either a trap door or to release something from the ceiling to drop on us.
Indeed, when you take a look over the beastman's shoulders, right above the door leading towards the hall, there is a massive pile of stone rubble that has been caught up in like a strong netting. It's like basically like hoisted up on ropes up above the lintel of the door.
Squish trap.
Okay, so as you round the corner, let's see here. So you can see that the northern door is barred from this side, and there is pieces of wood. It's barred in a manner that there have been pieces of wood that have been hammered across the door itself. Okay, and painted. There's a word that is painted in modern Arcantian on that wood that is barring that door to the north that just says danger. Okay. They do not take you to that door. they take you. They give it a wide berth and they turn towards the south and they open that door instead. That door opens up into a larger chamber. This chamber is rectangular. It is 30 feet east to west, 20 feet north to south, and you are entering in directly in the middle of the northern wall. There is, in addition, another door that leads out of this room to the east and is on the eastern wall on the northern side of it.
John, when we see kind of that word danger up there, can Wolfhard just kind of elbow the guard next to him and say, "What the fuck's up there?"
Pointing towards the door.
Yeah. When he sees the door, painted with danger on it, he's like, "What's up there?" Soldier to soldier kind of thing.
He kind of looks at you in your sort of barbarous nature, kind of disdainfully a little bit at you. But he looks over his shoulder and he says, "Ghouls."
Ghouls.
I hate them.
Good
Smell terrible.
We trapped him in there. They'll stay put.
Good thinking, lads. All right.
Okay, so you're in this chamber. There is a whole bunch of more beastmen in there. So there's 6 additional beastmen. They're also all wearing, they have the same insignia, the green field with the mailed fist with the wheat shaft. Okay. There are a number of bedrolls. There's a cooking fire in one corner. There are provisions all over the place. There is a small keg. And it looks like they got a pretty decent setup in here. Pretty, relatively comfort as far as like military goes. Very, very well organized, very, very clean. However, the sergeant that was sort of talking to you and has been leading you this entire time, he before you enter in, he points down toward the ground, like right at the door crossing, and he says, "Watch me," and he lifts his feet very high over a tripwire. Okay, as you enter in.
Okay.
As you all carefully move into the room.
Step over that? Sorry.
What?
I was going to say, is Mort able to step over that tripwire?
Yeah.
Or does he limbo underneath?
Legs.
Come on. Cruel.
So you can see that as you kind of walk into the room, that above the lintel of that door, there is actually a rigged crossbow that is actually pointing directly down over the door. Well, it's like they got their shit worked out here. But it's very, very clean, very, very Spartan, very, very military. They have quickly, it looks like they have arranged like a rudimentary desk, and sitting at a chair facing you, facing that door, has to be the one and only Count Skleros. Now, the Count himself is a dog-faced beastman. Okay, He has, and it's sort of like a wiry terrier sort of head. You know, what I mean, it's like a schnauzer almost, right? Like, but gray and salt and pepper fur, and big black nose, and he's got like big bushy brows that sort of hang over. And he's sitting comfortably like a field commander at a field desk. You know what I mean? So he's got his arms kind of folded across his chest. He's well armored, and he has his legs crossed in front of him as he sort of tilts back, and he just sort of gazes at you with his canine eyes. And you can see that he, like you could see, there's an air of authority that sort of rolls off of him, like he's an easy commanding presence. It doesn't seem to be shaken at all by you or what your appearance or what you're bearing or anything like that.
And he says, "Welcome. I'm the Count Skleros."
He's giving me the vibe. He's giving me the vibe of the old Scotty that's in 101 Dalmatians.
All right. Well,
say that to my face, Brother Lothar, and you'll see it.
No, I won't do that. I'm a wise cleric.
Did anybody bring a plate of spaghetti with a meatball that we can like push over?
Keep making jokes, friends.
All right. Mort will greet him in the traditional manner of one legionnaire to another, between different units who are having an official meeting. Ave, O Count, I and my companions have been bidden by the Goblin King to bring you greetings of friendship and brotherhood, and in recognition of the goodwill of the Goblin King to speak unto your people, we come bearing some gifts. And then he will imperiously wave his hand for Lothar to put the gifts on the table. Tripwire indeed, sir.
As I walk by him, I pat him on the head and I put the stylus set down on the desk and then start pulling from my pouches and stuff the Solidai.
Okay. So he looks impressed. He sort of raises his brows, and he sort of casually lifts the one up with like one of his mailed fists, the ivory box, and he's like, "Very, very impressive. I knew this day would come. Eventually, what I've heard to the north that the goblins have moved in. Are you the ones to thank for getting rid of those little men?"
I can claim only partial credit. It was a group effort. The halflings, they did so rub me the wrong way.
As they did I as well. And Mother, I can tell you that much.
I'm sure.
But it seems that the goblins, being the goblins, they have taken advantage of the situation, the power vacuum, and have moved into that spot.
It is true, Your Grace.
So our situation is not improved as far as Mother goes. How exactly do you propose to make our lot better?
The king has entreated with me and my companions to come to you and ask this very question. It is not known to us the extent of your realm, only that we share a border, but it seems to all observers that a border held in friendship must be better than a border held in mistrust.
I see this as wisdom, although I must say I have to take it with a little bit of salt coming from a goblin himself. I mean no offense.
None is
From
taken.
what I have seen from goblin kind in these halls, they will stop at nothing to expand their territory. Therefore, the Mother is quite worried about our security here.
As you will no doubt have observed, the cave goblins are fecund. But I have been sent because I am a legionnaire of the Arcantian Empire, and it was felt that though goblin, I might be more able to communicate with one such as yourself, a military man, a leader.
I can see it by the way you carry yourself and your dress. You are a member of the Imperial Tagmata, yes?
I cashed out. I did my years of service, and I have chosen to spend my time adventuring for my own profit rather than that of the Emperor.
We here on this territory pay homage to the great Imperium legions of the past.
It is said that you yourselves descend from such a legion, and a story which I long to hear. But suffice to say, the mark of the Legion remains upon your folks still.
So he basically, foregoing like the conversation, his thing is that he is worried about goblins moving in, because everything he knows about goblins is that they will not stop until they are forced to stop. He claims that Mother has no desire to expand beyond where they are right now. They have goals. They have things that they want to get done. He doesn't offer them up to you unless you ask, but he is basically telling you that, at least according to Mother, that the primary concern is that they are on the defense and that they want to know that their realm will be secure. And I should point out that if you do guarantee that, you're kind of overstepping, because you have gotten no confirmation from the king that he is going to actually stop.
So I have an idea about that. So here is what I'm going to propose to Count Skleros, and we don't need to go through all the convo. Mm-hmm. I want to propose that we hold on, let's get back to my map here. That the room with the barricade serve as it does now as a border between. Yes, what?
I was going to say yes, but use that southern door of that room. That way, the goblins can have that trash room and the cephalopod room. Okay.
Okay. So that room and that the door between that room and the corridor just out here serve as the border between our two peoples. That we establish between you and I now a temporary truce to be ratified by a duly appointed representatives of both sides. I am here as a primary emissary. The king will obviously have to, sign off on anything, right? So I'm not making any promises or guarantees, only saying that, upon our honor, you and I will shake on it. We will call this the border, and I will take a letter, perhaps from the count back to the king, and then an official ambassador of the king can come and make a formal declaration of truce between the two people. Because we came here as the emissaries of goodwill, not as full ambassadors of the king.
Okay.
Yes, Mike.
I think we should also add in there that as adventurers of some distinguishment and accomplishment, if there are issues within the Beastmen kingdom that they think we might be able to benefit our involvement in, if they are willing to give us free travel through their kingdom, we are willing to undertake like exploration duties or scouting duties or things like that.
So his eyes light up a little bit at that after hearing what he looks like content with what Mort offered. Like he's kind of nodding his head about that. He's like, okay, he likes what he's hearing. When you offer to actually offer your own services as adventurers to the Beastman's goals, he likes this very much, and you can tell that this is sort of appealing to his nature in that this is the proper way to sort of seal a deal, is to like exchange favors, right? That sort of thing. So He likes that very much. So Mort, he agrees to those terms. He thinks that's very, very proper. You can tell he just looks skeptical, even though he has no reason to disbelieve that you are an actual official ambassador. He does immediately peg the fact that you are not one of the goblins of Arden Vul. And so he, he's taking you on your word, basically, right? There are no actual like goblins from Arden Vul here to like sort of back him up.
Right.
And he's seen too much of goblins to sort of kind of take him. So what he just likes the fact that you are saying, we'll take a message back to the king, and then we'll send an official ambassador to make this official. He's down with that.
Right.
Yeah, Matt.
I will.
Yeah.
I will
Why don't we get some sort of like some sort of standard or symbol that the goblin can show when he comes back to make sure that he's treated safely and can access this area?
Yeah, that'll do. That's fine. And of course, Skleros sounds honorable, like he'll do whatever he says there.
Right.
So we do have to wrap it up here pretty soon. He tells you a couple of things though in response to what you're positing, Lothar. Okay. He tells you first of all that we're very, very misunderstood here in the halls. The dragon doesn't like us at all for some reason.
Doesn't like us either.
However, we do on occasion have to make our way to the surface, and this is why the goblin incursion has caused us a little bit of dismay, as some of our primary access has been taken away from us. He tells you that what they need often, they need supplies. They need wood. They need iron. They need fresh food is always a good thing to get. They want magical items to bolster their defenses. And they look around at all of you as well. He keeps his mouth shut after he thinks of it for a second, and then he says, there are sorts of mushrooms that we're looking for too. Mother loves them so dearly. Cloud cap mushrooms, they're called. And in addition, I don't know if you partake yourself, but there is the powder of a specific rare flower, the rastite lotus. Perhaps you've heard of it. Always looking for some of that.
Wait a minute. Would you?
What does that powder? Yeah, what does that powder look like?
Yeah.
Well, it's a whitish powder, but it has to be. You'll find it from the flower, of course. The powder is refined from the flower.
Guys, I don't want to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
He tells you that there is. They have a particular They have a company. That is called the Long Range Cavern Patrol. Okay, and they abbreviated calling it the LRCP. And he tells you that these are the most elite conjure amongst the Tagmata. They are the ones that venture forth into the dark places of the dungeon and hunt out these items for us. If you come across...
We've heard of them.
You have. Yes, the reputation. Should you find beastmen out and free in the halls themselves, more than likely they are a member of the LRCP. They are tasked with gaining most of these items, especially the rarer ones like the mushrooms and the rastite lotus powder. They are also on the lookout, and this is where I would entreat you as well to keep an eye out on your travels and journeys for relics of our original leader, who we hold higher. And he sort of looks around at his men and lowers his voice a little bit, higher than even Mother. Our original leader, Gennadius, and the first canine, and all the rest of the beastmen actually shout out and they go, Rex, Rex. If you can find, if you could find relics of them, of those ancient Archontian, we would dearly love to have them back.
Yeah. So I don't mean to be rude, but what does that white powder stuff do? Is it like a medicine? Is it?
Mother treasures it deeply. Greatly, I should say. Yeah, Mike.
Okay. So way back in like episode 4, when Osric the Omniscient did not predict his death, we went into a room in that tower and there was a cask of white powder that was in like the room with all the cleaning supplies and shit like that. and we didn't know what it was. We ended up leaving it behind, thinking it was like just regular flour. It's the only time I can think of that we came across that stuff.
We have a teakwood box of white powder
that Niall is carrying right now in the other room.
Oh, why does Niall have the teakwood box? I thought
Niall's the one who found it. He's been carrying it the whole time.
So
why is he in the pyramid?
We're past time, so like where things are doesn't really matter right now. But the last two things that he wants to point out to you that are favors that could be done one way or the other. Like he's not saying like only you can do it, but one way or another, the beastmen desire these things. There is a banda. Banda is the word that they use for squad. So within the conturb, like there's squads of like 6 beastmen are basically what are kind of sent out. So there's a banda of the LRCP that is actually lost recently, headed by a beastman known as Histar. The rest of the LRCP and the rest of the beastmen have not been able to get have not heard any word from this banda. If you could find word of them, that would be, or bring them back would be even better. They would greatly favor you for that. And the last thing, and he kind of puts this as like a pie in the sky sort of thing, but he tells you that he heard rumors that there was a sun-scarred knight that was advising the goblins. And he says, "It is both mine and Mother's great dismay that none of the sun-scarred knights have ever deigned to actually present themselves to Mother and the beastmen. If there is any way that if you run into a sun-scarred knight and convince them to take up residency as an advisor to the Tagma, that would be hugely valuable for the growth and security of the faction." But he kind of puts it out there like that's like the furthest, like there's no way you're going to do that. It would just be like, that'd be really nice if we could get that, but there's no, you just sort of laugh.
How long ago was it since we met Sir Simonet? How long ago was that? How many days?
I feel like it's like in a week or something like
only
that.
Only a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that many.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still there.
Yeah, so Sir Sorrow left. Sir Simonet, you're not really sure what his state is. But if Sir Simonet is still there, it's actually not that he's not that far away.
Oh, he's really close.
Right.
Yeah. So
be like, hang on a minute, guys, I'll be right back.
So I don't want to rush through the conversation. There's probably more that you want to talk about.
Go down and get the sun-scarred knight.
I don't want to rush through the conversation. There's probably more that you guys want to talk to him about, perhaps. So I don't want to say it's done, but I just wanted to get all of the main stuff out there, and we can pick it up next time with any further details that you want to do. So we'll just leave you guys in media res in this meeting with Skleros. Okay.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Sounds good. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. You got some cool stuff done. Some forward strides, some exploration done. You actually hit a feat of exploration for exploring multiple rooms. That's very, very rare.
Yes.
So this is the benefit too of explooring in an area that is heavily patrolled by your own allies, because there's no random encounter checks. I don't know if you noticed, but I try to keep it subtle anyways. But that allows you to get through stuff faster. Anyways, that'll do it. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. You've been watching 3D6 Down the Line, the most underwatched? Yes, underwatched actual play series criminally underwatched series on the internet. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the Patreon as well, where you get a lot of cool benefits. Join the free Discord server. We're always chatting up stuff. It's a lot of fun. And thank you, as always, to all of our patron members, both all explorers, delvers, and conquerors. And as always, let's read out the conqueror list for this evening.
Oh, I got it. I want to say thank you to Steven. He's the new conqueror for this week. We got Brad and Aiden, the Logan family, Krobuskis.
You got this, Mike.
I know. I got this. Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Dale Brady, Tom Leary, Phil, G Tokyo Time, Terry Barney, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Doig, Robert Valdez, Eric Lawson, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, the Hexbrawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, not Matt but not least, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thanks, guys.
Nice. Thanks so much, Conquerors. We really appreciate it. And everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye now.